morning, it's 10 a.m. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. This is the Breakfast News with me, Frank Pereira. Let's begin with the headlines. President Pranab Mukherjee leaves on a two-nation tour of Papua New Guinea and New Zealand. First ever visit by an Indian president to the two nations. Ahead of the visit, Cabinet approves MOU on cooperation in field of health and medicine with New Guinea. Cabinet allows states to fix stock holding limit on sugar, move to health check holding and control prices that have been surging since October last year. Centre puts onus on states to tackle drought situation and water scarcity, says all assistance being offered. Water Resources Ministry to begin work to bring water in central list from concurrent list. More than 24 hours after it began, fire at Biodiesel unit in Visakhapatnam still rages. No casualties or injuries. Loss estimated to the tune of 120 crore rupees. And big launch day for ISRO, India's 7th and last navigation satellite IRNSS 1G to be launched from Sriharikota. Well, the centre has put the onus of addressing the drought situation on states. The centre, however, said that it is doing its bit to provide relief to those affected. Replying to a short-duration discussion in the Rajya Sabha about the issue, Minister of Agriculture Radha Mohan Singh countered the opposition charge that the centre was not doing enough, including in the context of releasing adequate funds. Talking about the steps taken by the centre, he said it has eased norms for providing relief and even the allocation for State Disaster Response Fund has been raised. Earlier, Water Resources Minister Uma Bharti informed the House that the availability of water in 91 major reservoirs in the country is lower by 11 million cubic meters at present. Meanwhile, the Water Resources Ministry will start work on bringing the subject of water in the central list from the concurrent list. A suggestion to this regard was made by JDU leader Sharad Yadav, and the government informed the Rajya Sabha on Wednesday about the move. In December last year, a parliamentary standing committee on water resources had said that water needs to be dealt with in a consultative manner, taking into consideration the overall national perspective and given the fact that the country will face acute water crisis in the near future, especially groundwater. Meanwhile, opposition members in the Rajya Sabha on Wednesday expressed serious concern over the drinking water crisis and drought situation. In a short-duration discussion, many accused the government of not releasing adequate funds. The government, however, reiterated its commitment to solving the problem and listed the steps it has taken to tackle the crisis.
Cutting across party lines on Wednesday, opposition members cornered the government on the drinking water crisis and the drought situation in 11 states. Taking part in a short-duration discussion in the upper house, the MPs accused the government of not doing enough to tackle the crisis.
सभी राज्यों की ये स्थिति है कि राज्य सरकार ने एक डिमांड की है और इसमें एक्चुअली यहाँ से जो कोई सहायता दिया गया वो इनके 50% भी नहीं दिया गया। मुझे लगता है कि इसमें कुछ न कुछ सुधार करने की आवश्यकता है।
और सिर्फ ये सूखे की स्थिति गांव तक नहीं रह गई, बल्कि जैसे यहाँ गया शहरों की स्थिति तो और ख़राब होती जा रही है। शहर में पानी की व्यवस्था नहीं है। हम स्मार्ट सिटी की तो बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन स्मार्ट सिटी के लिए पानी कहाँ से लाएं? जो पीने के लिए पानी उपलब्ध नहीं है। हम स्वच्छता अभियान की तो बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन स्वच्छता के लिए, सफाई के लिए जो पानी है वो कहाँ से लाएं?
वाटर लेवल कितना नीचे चला गया। तमाम उत्तर प्रदेश के जिले तो डार्क जोन जिले हो गए, जहां पे बोरिंग करने के लिए मना कर दिया गया। अगर ये स्थिति तो कहीं जो कहा गया है कि विश्व में अगर महायुद्ध होगा तो पानी पे होगा, तो ये सत्यता में न परिणित होता दिखा।
सरकार को बुंदेलखंड के लिए अलग से ऐसी कृषि नीति घोषित करनी चाहिए जो इस क्षेत्र के पर्यावरण और परिस्थितिकी को नुकसान न पहुंचाए। जो भी नीति बने उससे पशुपालन और वानिकी के साथ जोड़ा जाए।
This time the drought has also brought forth us the grim reality. Number one, the situation now demands, instead of going in the details which our previous speaker has already spoken about the real impact of drought, actually the situation demands immediate action. Number one, immediate relief, and number two, also a long-term approach in addressing the issue at the root.
Initiating the discussion, A.U. Singhdeo of the BJD urged the government to form a separate ministry to tackle the problem. Senior member Sharad Yadav wanted water shifted from the concurrent to the central list.
नया डिपार्टमेंट सरकार को बनाना चाहिए जो ड्राउट, फ्लड, नेशनल डिजास्टर्स, अर्थक्वेक्स, क्लाइमेट चेंज इत्यादि को कंसोलिडेट करे एक डिपार्टमेंट में और उसमें अध्ययन करा जाए, कोशिश की जाए कि इसको कैसे सुधारें।
मेड इन इंडिया बेकार है, पानी का इंजन है, पानी है, जब खेत में ले जाओगे तो हिंदुस्तान जरूर बनेगा, जरूर बनेगा। तो ये काम आपने नहीं किया, ये काम करिए, ये सिंचाई का आपने जो वादा किया वो वादा पूरा करिए।
In its reply, the government listed several steps that it has taken. The Agriculture Minister urged states to improve the utilization of these funds.
इस देश के लोगों को सूखे से प्रभावित नहीं होने देंगे, इसकी तैयारी हमने 80,000 करोड़ से की है, जिसमें हम AIBP को लेंगे, जिसमें हम PMKSY को लेंगे, जिसमें हम सरफेस माइनर इरिगेशन स्कीम्स को लेंगे, जिसमें हम RRR को लेंगे, जिसमें तेलंगाना में जो प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है काकतिया डायनेस्टी का, ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट लेंगे और हम मिला करके उस स्थिति को ले आएंगे जब हर खेत को पानी होगा और हर प्यासे को पानी होगा। इस लक्ष्य को हम पूरा करेंगे।
16-17 का जो आवंटन हुआ है राज्य आपदा कोष का 11,364 करोड़ का, उसका भी जो ये 10 राज्य हैं सूखे प्रभावित, उनके 10 राज्यों का प्रथम किस्त भी बिना वोट ऑन अकाउंट के ये राशि भेज दी गई।
House stands adjourned till 11 a.m. on Thursday.
The opposition expressed displeasure over the reply and the Congress staged a walkout in protest. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on now, Chief Minister Oommen Chandy has urged the centre to declare Kerala a drought-affected state. A high-level meeting of ministers and government officials will be held in Thiruvananthapuram on Thursday to discuss the unprecedented drought conditions prevailing in many parts of the state. Chandy also said that his government has got permission from the Election Commission to deal with the drought situation. He cited the prevailing extreme hot weather condition that has affected normal life in several areas. Voices are being raised for the civil society and the government to come together and solve the water crisis. Meanwhile, the Union Cabinet has allowed states to fix the stock holding limit on sugar. The move to check holding and controlling prices comes at a time when sugar is ruling at over 40 rupees per kilogram in the retail market. The cabinet meet was chaired by the Prime Minister. The government noticed that in spite of sufficient availability of stocks with sugar mills, wholesale and retail prices have shown a spurt. The centre has taken stock of the availability of sugar and different factors contributing to the rise in market prices across the country. The centre says that the decision will empower states and central agencies to impose stock limits and regulate supply, distribution, storage and trade of sugar to bring down sugar prices at reasonable level by curbing unscrupulous trading. Retail sugar prices have been rising since October due to estimates of lower production at 25.6 million tonnes for 2015-16 as against 28.3 million tonnes a year ago. Its prices crossed 40 rupees per kilogram at the beginning of this month compared with 30 rupees per kilogram last October. At present, prices are 44 rupees per kilogram according to the government data. The government move also comes a day after former Agriculture Minister Sharad Pawar threatened that cane growers will come out on the streets to protest if the government takes steps to depress retail sugar prices. Meanwhile, the Cabinet has approved a memorandum of understanding between India and Papua New Guinea on cooperation in the field of health area and medical science. The bilateral MOU will encourage cooperation between the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of India and the Ministry of Health and HIV/AIDS of Papua New Guinea through joint initiatives in the health sector. The centre hopes to further strengthen bilateral ties between India and Papua New Guinea with this move. Meanwhile, President Pranab Mukherjee left on a two-nation tour to Papua New Guinea and New Zealand late last night. This will be the first ever state visit of an Indian president to these two countries. Both the countries have close people-to-people ties with India. Here's more.
President Pranab Mukherjee is on a 5-day tour to Papua New Guinea and New Zealand. In the first leg of his tour to Papua New Guinea, the president will meet Governor General Michael Ogayo and Prime Minister Peter O'Neill. Not only does the country hold strategic importance for India, it is also rich in minerals like nickel, cobalt and gold. Papua New Guinea, however, looks towards India for its developmental needs.
Papua New Guinea is looking towards India for many of its development needs, such as in the health sector, capacity building in IT, agriculture, and infrastructure development. And a line of credit is being finalized for infrastructure projects to be done by India in Papua New Guinea.
President Mukherjee will then visit New Zealand. There, the President will meet the Governor-General, Prime Minister, opposition leaders and business leaders. India and New Zealand have close people-to-people ties. There are many Indian students studying in the country, and India is an important trade partner for New Zealand.
Agreements and MOUs in the field of air connectivity and education are expected to be signed during the visit. With this visit, we hope to energize and upgrade our bilateral relationship to a new level.
A high-level delegation, including Minister of State for Agriculture Sanjeev Balyan, is accompanying the President on the 5-day visit. Akhilesh Soman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Supreme Court on Wednesday stayed the High Court's order saying that President's rule will continue in Uttarakhand. The court also framed 7 tough questions to the centre during the hearing. The Apex Court fixed May 3rd for further hearing of the case. Here's a report.
Uttarakhand will remain under President's rule for now. Stating this, the Supreme Court also maintained there will be no floor test on April 29th as ordered by the High Court.
One of the points that came up from Justice Mishra was to consider the question of, after all of this is there, whether eventually the question of a floor test will arise. Of course, the order of a floor test, which was to be conducted on the 29th, the interim stay continues, and now the matter will be argued on the 3rd of May, which is Tuesday next week.
The court also sought the centre's response to 7 questions on the imposition of President's rule in Uttarakhand, including whether the delay in the floor test could be grounds for proclaiming President's rule. The court also asked if the disqualification of MLAs by the Speaker is itself a relevant issue in imposing President's rule under Article 356, or even if the President can take note of the proceedings in the Uttarakhand Assembly in deciding to impose President's rule.
Supreme Court has fixed a date, and we will abide by that. And still the matter is before the Supreme Court. I have no comments to make.
Does it look surprising? I'm not surprised. This is all part of the grand plan. They can postpone, they can delay, but the truth will prevail. At the end of the day, Uttarakhand is Congress.
Last week, the top court put on hold a High Court order cancelling President's rule. It also directed the High Court to release the signed judgment by April 26th to all parties involved in the case. The court will start a fresh hearing from May 3rd before delivering its final verdict by May 13th. Uttarakhand has been under President's rule since March 27th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the Uttarakhand High Court will continue hearing the petition of rebel Congress MLAs who were disqualified on March 27th. The disqualified MLAs include former Chief Minister Vijay Bahuguna, who spearheaded the rebellion against Chief Minister Harish Rawat. This had led to a political instability in the state and imposition of President's rule. Well, we are slipping into a short break now, but before that, renowned Indian sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik has bagged the gold medal at the 9th Moscow Sand Sculpture Championship. Sudarshan won the championship for Best Composition by presenting a 15-feet-high sand sculpture of Mahatma Gandhi and depicting the message of non-violence and peace. We leave you with the visual. Join us after the break.
Hello and welcome to The Quest. Another very special guest on The Quest, Union Minister in Government of India, Mr. Kalraj Mishra.
प्रधानमंत्री जी की मंशा है कि हमारा युवा रोजगार देने वाला हो, रोजगार के लिए हाथ फैलाने वाला ना हो। खादी की गुणवत्ता के लिए हमने डिजाइन में परिवर्तन किया है, हमने पहनावे की दृष्टि से भी परिवर्तन किया है। भारत के टैलेंट को दुनिया के लोग अपनी तरफ खींचने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
Watch The Quest with Kalraj Mishra only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Let's now get you the latest on the political controversy at the moment, the AgustaWestland chopper scam. The government has said that it will seek a report from the CBI on the deal and initiate the move to blacklist AgustaWestland and its parent company, Finmeccanica. The centre has claimed that the previous UPA dispensation had not put out any embargo on the scandal-tainted company. The CBI had in 2013 registered a case in connection with the alleged bribes paid by the firm to Indians to clinch the deal for 12 helicopters to ferry VVIPs, including the President and the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, PTI is quoting sources as saying that two top NDA ministers held parleys with senior Congress leaders in a bid to broker peace after the ruckus in the Rajya Sabha over the AgustaWestland case. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and Parliamentary Affairs Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu are reported to have held meetings with the Leader of the Opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad and Deputy Leader of the Congress in the Rajya Sabha Anand Sharma. While Sonia Gandhi has given a stern defence over allegations of involvement, former National Security Advisor M.K. Narayanan said that he played no role in the controversial deal. He also claimed there were no talks of kickbacks till he left the Prime Minister's office in 2010. About his alleged involvement, the former NSA said it has come as a revelation to him and that the issue is neither here nor there. On the other hand, the Aam Aadmi Party also waded into the controversy with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal demanding action against accused Congress leaders. He said that inaction against the leaders will suggest its nexus with the BJP. Meanwhile, rubbishing allegations made by the ruling BJP, the Congress President Sonia Gandhi accused the centre of using a strategy of character assassination against her in the AgustaWestland chopper deal, also known as the 2013 Indian helicopter bribery scandal. Here's more.
The battle lines have been drawn between the ruling BJP and the Congress in the AgustaWestland deal case. The 3,600 crore deal for a dozen VVIP choppers manufactured by AgustaWestland was cancelled by India in 2014 after the Italian Court of Appeals began investigating the multi-million-dollar chopper deal. On Wednesday, BJP leader Subramanian Swamy linked Congress President Sonia Gandhi to the AgustaWestland deal, demanding that the connection be further investigated. The charges, however, have been countered aggressively by the Congress.
Can't corner them if they have nothing to hide. They must support me. I'm only saying expand the investigation of the CBI. फिर ये सारे नाम आ गए, किस में आए हैं? कोई आरोप वहाँ लगाया नहीं अखबार ने. ये तो एक हाई कोर्ट की जो दर्जा वाली कोर्ट है मिलान में, इटली में, उसने जजमेंट में कहा है. तो इसको हम कैसे नज़रअंदाज कर सकते हैं?
Where are the proofs? They are lies. They are part of a strategy of character assassination. These people have been in government now for 2 years. The inquiry is on. Why don't they complete quickly, as soon as possible, and impartially, the inquiry? And then everything will come out. The truth will come out.
Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar also challenged the Congress to show the UPA government order blacklisting the Anglo-Italian helicopter maker in connection with the VVIP chopper scam. He also added that his ministry has received a copy of the Italian court order.
उन्होंने कब ब्लैकलिस्ट किया था ये पहला सवाल उनसे पूछो. उसका जवाब आ गया कि बाद में मैं इसके ऊपर आपको जवाब दूं. The rules of parliament are very clear that I should explain the matter to the parliament first. So I'll be doing that sometime in the near future based on convenience and time fixed. And we are also asking for information.
Observations made by the Italian Court of Appeals in the case has generated a heavy political blame game cutting across party lines.
What has been revealed in Augusta is very important and very serious. And therefore now Congress owes an explanation. They need to really introspect what they have done to the country. And they must explain why they did so. What is the role of their leaders in AgustaWestland case?
Why did Modi government not blacklist AgustaWestland? Why did Modi government in July 2014 seek an opinion from Attorney General Mukul Rohtgi, wherein he said, don't blacklist AgustaWestland, don't blacklist its parent company, permit them to participate in defense contracts?
ये अदालत का फैसला
पढ़ने को मिला है। अदालत इसमें अपना कार्य कर रही है और अदालत जो भी फैसला करेगी, जो भी आदेश होगी, वो सब लोगों को मान्य होगा।
ये लोग सरकार में हैं। पिछले 2 साल से जो लेटर की बात कर रहे हैं, जो कह रहे हैं जो एनेक्स से पास ऑफ द जजमेंट है, वो 2 साल से सरकार के पास है, पब्लिक डोमेन में है। अब तक क्यों जांच क्यों नहीं की? और अभी भी करा लें जांच।
Documents related to the negotiations reviewed by the Italian court refer to Sonia Gandhi as the driving force. It also mentions her advisors, including Ahmed Patel and then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on now, the fire is still raging in a biodiesel factory in Duvada Special Economic Zone near Visakhapatnam more than 24 hours after it broke out. The fire will reportedly come under control after the fuel in the tanks which are on fire is completely burnt out. Here's a detailed report.
More than 24 hours after a major fire broke out at a biofuel plant in Visakhapatnam, the blaze is yet to be put out. The officials say the fire could burn all day today as well. So far, 40 fire engines, including 20 from the Navy, have been deployed to control the blaze.
Indian Navy has been here since last night, and till now we have deployed something around 15 fire tenders. We have a team of doctor and medical assistant also to counter any kind of casualties.
The fire began on the premises of a company called Biomax, located in the Duvada Special Economic Zone. It is not known how it started, but of the 18 tanks containing biodiesel stored at the facility, 12 have gone up in flames. The fire can be put out only after all the fuel burns out.
You can see that we saved these 6 tanks by fighting the fire at the spot itself. And here we are preventing the fire from coming from there to here.
No one has been injured in the incident. All 15 employees present at the time managed to get away. But the fire is believed to have caused damage to the tune of 120 crore rupees. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on now, India will launch its 7th and last navigation satellite IRNSS 1G in the series of regional navigation satellite system from Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh today. The 44.4 meter tall IRNSS 1G has a liftoff mass of 1,425 kilograms and would be launched in sub-geosynchronous transfer orbit from PSLV C-33. It has a 12-year mission life. Today's successful launch will move India closer to having its own navigation satellite system. ISRO had launched the 6th navigation satellite IRNSS 1F on March 10th. The Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, comprising 7 satellites, would be able to provide navigation system with much better accuracy and targeted position. While 4 satellites are sufficient to start operations of the IRNSS system, the remaining 3 will make it more accurate and efficient. Some international news now. Paris attack suspect Salah Abdeslam was placed under formal investigation on terrorism and murder charges in France after his extradition from Belgium. Abdeslam was produced in a Paris courtroom, but he declined to address the charges against him, saying he was exhausted due to his transfer from Belgium. Investigators have said Abdeslam told them he arranged logistics for the multiple suicide bombings and shooting attacks in Paris and had planned to blow himself up at the Stade de France Sports Stadium before backing out at the last minute. The 26-year-old Abdeslam and his brother are believed to be behind the attacks that killed 130 people in the spate of shootings and suicide bombings in Paris on November 13th. He was Europe's most wanted fugitive until his capture in Brussels on March 18th. His next hearing has been set for May 20th. Moving on to some sports news now. Indian archer Deepika Kumari equalled the world record in women's recurve event at the qualifying stage of the Archery World Cup in Shanghai. The former world #1 shot 686 in the 72-arrow ranking round to match the feat of London Olympics gold medalist Kibo Bae of South Korea. Deepika's effort also enabled India to win the mixed pair bronze in the playoff in the first stage. Deepika has already qualified for the Rio Olympics with her performance at the Copenhagen World Championships last year. In the previous editions of the World Cup, Deepika had won silver medals in 2011, 2012 and 13 in the individual events.
It took 2 or 3 arrows to correct the side, and of course.
Well, the Olympic flame that will burn in Rio in August for the first Games in South America has been handed over to Brazil. The torch was passed on in the marble stadium that hosted the first modern games in 1896. We leave you with these images.